This is the fifth episode of Module 3 of the course Urban Transportation in Developing Countries. This episode focuses on how and why transportation systems in the Global South fail and what can be done as solution. At some point, every rapidly growing city hits a wall. Buses are full, trains don't reach where people live, roads stop moving, and schedules become suggestions. And yet, somehow, millions of trips still happen every day. People still go to work, kids still reach school, and markets still open on time. When formal transport systems fail, cities don't freeze, they improvise. This episode is about what actually happens after failure, how people adapt numerically, spatially, and socially, and how cities can move from survival mode to smarter mobility.
I'm Bushman Masumi, it's Urban History.
Transport failure doesn't mean zero infrastructure. It means capacity no longer matches demand. There are some common indicators across African and Asian megacities. Peak hour speeds below 15 km per hour. Bus load factors exceeding 150 to 200%. Rail overcrowding above design limits. And daily delays of 30 to 90 minutes per commuter. Examples: Jakarta, average peak speed about 13 km per hour. Cairo, buses often carry twice as designed capacity. In Nairobi, public transport demand exceeds supply by about 40%. In Bangkok, commuters lose about 100 hours per year to congestion. This isn't malfunction, it's saturation. When formal systems fail, informal systems don't appear slowly. They scale immediately. In Nairobi, matatus bear about 60% of all trips. In Lagos, Nigeria, informal minibuses and motorcycles allocate about 65 to 70%. Cairo, microbuses have a modal share of about 40 to 50%. In Bangkok, motorcycle taxis dominate last-mile access for rail users. In Dhaka, Bangladesh, rickshaws and informal buses carry millions daily. These numbers matter. Without informality, entire cities would stop functioning. Informal transport isn't a side effect, it's load-bearing. In failing systems, commuters become planners. Daily strategies include leaving home earlier, sometimes 1 to 2 hours earlier, switching routes mid-journey, combining 3 to 4 modes per trip, and choosing speed over comfort or safety. In surveys, commuters in Manila and Jakarta report changing routes weekly. In African cities, over 50% of users rely on best guess timing. Urban mobility turns into applied probability. When congestion spikes, motorcycles surge. Numbers tell the story. Vietnam, about 50 million motorcycles nationwide. Indonesia, motorcycles account for about 80% of vehicles. African cities, motorcycle taxi fleets doubled or tripled in a decade. Motorcycles reduce travel time by about 30 to 50%, require little infrastructure, and bypass congestion. But they also account for about 40 to 60% of traffic fatalities in many cities and increase noise and emissions. Two wheels solve time. They don't solve safety. In many developing cities, 30 to 50% of all trips are still made on foot, and walking trips increase when transport fails. But sidewalks are missing or unsafe, crossings are poorly designed, and pedestrians account for 30 to 40% of traffic deaths. When systems fail, walking expands, but cities rarely expand sidewalks. Informal systems keep cities moving, but at measurable costs. Accidents rates 2 to 3 times higher than formal transport. Vehicle emissions significantly above standards. Worker fatigue, drivers often work 12 to 16 hours per day, as well as passenger stress and unpredictability. Yet banning informality increases. Informality includes commute times, transport costs, and unemployment. Cities don't choose informality because it's perfect. They choose it because it works right now. Despite flaws, informal transport delivers massive economic value. Estimates show paratransit supports millions of jobs. It saves commuters 30 to 60 minutes per trip, reduces walking distances dramatically, and lowers public expenditure on transport supply. In Lagos, Nigeria, informal transport contributes billions annually in economic activity. Cities outsource mobility and save money doing it. Over time, overcrowding feels normal, unsafe behavior is tolerated, and delays are expected. This normalization is dangerous. Once failure becomes how things are, political pressure of improvement fades. Survival mode is efficient, but it kills ambition. The first solution is simple. Recognize informal systems as part of the transport ecosystem. Cities that do this map informal routes, coordinate schedules, regulate safety incrementally, and integrate fare systems. Examples: Nairobi's digital matatus, Jakarta's feeder integration, and Bangkok's motorcycle taxi zoning. You can't fix what you refuse to see. Before mega projects, cities can add bus lanes, improve intersections, prioritize high-demand corridors, upgrade vehicles, and improve stops and terminals. Data shows bus priority can increase capacity by 2 to 3 times. Reliability improves without new infrastructure. Sometimes the solution is not new, it's better. Cities can reduce the cost of informality by enforcing vehicle safety standards, setting maximum working hours, providing training, and redesigning dangerous streets. Safety improvements alone can reduce fatality by 20 to 40%, improve public trust, and stabilize systems. Survival should not require risk. Resilient transport systems assume overload will happen, design redundancy, allow flexibility, and adapt routes dynamically. Cities that plan only for normal days fail first. Urban transport needs backups, not optimism. Successful transitions keep operators employed, phase upgrades slowly, provide financial support, and avoid sudden bans. Evidence shows gradual reform works and abrupt reform triggers collapse. Evolution beats demolition. Transport failures reveals where demand is highest, which corridors matter, and what people value most, which is time. Cities that learn from survival systems design better networks. Informality is not noise, it's signal. Now, as usual, let's bring this back to your city. When transport fails where you live, what fills the gap? Which informal modes save you the most time? Do survival strategies make the travel safer or just faster? Has your city tried to improve informality or only fight it? And the big question: if your city invests tomorrow on one realistic transport improvement, what would reduce daily stress the most? Share your city and your experience in the comments, because when systems fail, cities don't stop, they adapt.